I found her in a hotel with her ex's wife, claiming she was helping her move. Proof she's been cheating for months. I was still holding the spare key card in my hand when the door swung open, that heavy hotel door whooshing like it was trying to announce the drama. The room smelled like cheap citrus cleaner and perfume. The TV was on mute, some home renovation show flashing silently on the screen. And there she was, my girlfriend, Mia, sitting on the edge of the bed in leggings and an oversized hoodie, hair messy, cheeks flushed. Next to her, cross-legged on the rumpled duvet, was Claire. Claire, who was married to Mia's ex Claire, who was supposed to be in the middle of moving out of her apartment, not tucked up in a 4-star hotel 10 minutes from our place. They both froze when they saw me. Mia's hand was halfway between them, like it had just been touching Claire's knee and dropped. For a second, no one said anything. I could hear my own heartbeat louder than the AC humming in the corner. The keycard started to bend in my grip. That's how hard I was squeezing it. Claire's eyes flicked to Mia's face, like she was waiting for a cue. Mia swallowed, stood up too fast so the bed bounced a little, and pulled her hoodie down like she'd just remembered she was supposed to be wearing it. Eli, she said, my name, small and thin and so wrong in that room. What are you doing here? It was a Sunday night. We've been together 5 years, living together for 3. I'm 31, she's 29. I'm writing this from a crappy furnished Airbnb because right now our apartment feels like a crime scene. I don't really know if this belongs on our /true off my chest or our /relationship advice or whatever, but I need to get this out of my head before I start convincing myself I hallucinated it. The whole helping her move thing started about 2 months ago. Mia's ex, I'll call him Tom, has been this weird background character in our relationship from the beginning. They dated in their early 20s, a solid 3-year mess of big feelings and bigger fights from what I've heard. When Mia and I first got serious, she was honest about it. He wasn't a bad person, she said once, picking at the label on her beer bottle. Just wrong for me in every way that mattered. We were too similar in the worst ways. Too stubborn, too dramatic. It was fun and awful at the same time. He met Claire a couple years after they broke up, and they did the whole mature grown-ups thing, stayed loosely friendly, bumped into each other at parties, followed each other on Instagram. I met him twice, at mutual friends' birthdays. He was fine, loud, a bit full of himself, but nothing that made my hackles go up. Claire was different. The first time I met her was at a barbecue at some friend of a friend's place. She was quieter than Tom, but funny in this dry, undercutting way that made people lean in. She and Mia hit it off immediately. Same taste in music, both into photography, both weirdly passionate about spicy margaritas. Driving home that night, Mia said, "It's so weird. If Tom wasn't Tom, I'd actually want to be friends with his wife. Claire's cool." I remember saying, "You can still be friends. It's not illegal." She laughed. "Yeah, but it's messy. And I'm trying to be, like, low drama in my 30s. Spoiler, that didn't exactly work out. Over the years, though, Claire popped up more. Group hangs where Tom couldn't make it, and she still came. Occasional DMs about shows they both watched. Then, about 6 months ago, Mia said casually over dinner, "Oh, by the way, Claire and Tom are separated." I looked up from my plate. "Oh shit. Since when?" "Apparently it's been a while," Mia said, twirling pasta on her fork. "She told me they're doing the trial separation thing. Living apart for a bit." "Damn," I said. "That sucks." Mia nodded. "Yeah. She seems okay weirdly. Like, sad but also relieved. We've been talking more." "How much more?" I asked, probably with a little too much edge in my voice. Mia made a face. "Don't be weird. She's going through a lot. It's mostly her venting about lawyers and leases and how expensive storage units are." I let it go. It's not like I wanted to be the guy who says, "You can't be friends with your ex's wife." It sounded insane even in my head. Then, a couple of weeks later, the moving errand started. It always sounded reasonable in the moment. "Claire needs help packing her kitchen. I'm gonna head over after work." Her movers bailed. I said I'd help her box up her books. Tom's dropping off some of her stuff, and she doesn't want to be alone with him. So I said I'd be there for moral support. Mia's always been that person, the helper friend, the one who shows up on moving day, the one who brings food when you're sick. It's one of the reasons I fell for her. She doesn't just say, "Let me know if you need anything." She actually turns up. The first time she stayed late, she texted, "Mia, we're still going. It's chaos here, lol." Don't wait up if you're tired. I'll probably crash on her couch. I texted back a thumbs up and a heart, then fell asleep on the couch watching some documentary about volcanoes. When I woke up at 2 a.m., she wasn't home. At 6 a.m., I rolled over in our bed and she was there, hair smelling like someone else's laundry detergent, arm flung across my chest like she'd been there all night. I thought you were crashing at Claire's. I mumbled. She yawned. I did. I came back at, like, 5. You were snoring. I didn't want to wake you. She kissed my shoulder. Go back to sleep. It felt off, but not in a concrete way. I tucked it into that mental file of things to maybe revisit later if they stack up. They stacked up. The texts got more frequent. The moving days got longer. Saturdays disappeared into helping Claire sort her storage unit. Wednesday nights became quick dinner with Claire to talk about the lease. I started to notice little things. The way Mia would change her outfit before going to pack boxes. The extra mascara. The good perfume. She'd say it was because she felt gross in old jeans and wanted to feel semi-human, even when doing physical stuff. I wanted to believe that. Then there was the hotel. The hotel entered the story because of money, ironically. I was paying some bills online and noticed a pending charge on our joint credit card. Haven Suites, $186.40. The date was a Tuesday. We hadn't gone anywhere. Mia, I called from the study. Did you stay in a Haven Suites recently? She walked in, towel on her head, toothbrush in her mouth. She glanced at the screen, foam at the corner of her lips. Oh, she said around the toothbrush. Yeah, that's Claire's. She booked it with my card because hers was being weird. She's paying me back. I told you, didn't I? She hadn't. Why is Claire in a hotel? I asked. She shrugged. She handed her keys back before her new place was ready. She needed somewhere for a couple nights that wasn't her parents' place. Long story. It made sense. Barely. I filed it under slightly odd but explainable and tried to move on. Until last Sunday. Last Sunday, she woke up already dressed, basically. Leggings, oversized flannel, hair up in a messy bun that looked like it had taken effort to look that effortless. She was moving around the apartment in that purposeful way that says, I have a plan and it doesn't involve being here. What's up? I asked, sitting at the table with my coffee. Big move day, she said, grabbing a reusable bag and stuffing it with snacks. Claire finally got her storage keys sorted. We're doing a big run, then dropping stuff at her new place, then probably collapsing somewhere with food. I checked my phone. On a Sunday? She gave me a look. When else are we going to do it? I work, she works, you work. Weekends are for suffering in IKEA warehouses and carrying boxes. That's the law. Fair, I said. Want me to come? She froze for a fraction of a second. If I hadn't been looking right at her, I might have missed it. Then she smiled, a little too quickly. It'll be boring, she said. Just two girls complaining about their backs. Plus, someone needs to keep the cat alive. Our cat, Moose, chose that moment to jump onto the bench and try to murder my toast. So the conversation derailed. 10 minutes later, she was kissing me at the door, saying, I'll text you, and heading out. She didn't text. Not for a while. I cleaned the kitchen, played with Moose, scrolled Reddit, fell into a YouTube rabbit hole about restoring old tools. At some point I realized it was nearly 4 p.m. and my phone had been absolutely silent. I sent, how's it going? No response. At 5:30, I called. It rang out. At 6:15, she finally texted. Sorry, total chaos. My phone died earlier. We're gonna grab something to eat, and I might just crash at her hotel. Don't wait up. Love you. Something about that combination, dead phone, hotel, don't wait up, made every red flag in me sprout extra flags. I stared at the message for a long time. Then I opened Find My. We'd turned on location sharing ages ago when she took a solo hiking trip and I was nervous. Her little dot was not near any storage unit I knew of. It was not near Claire's new place, which I'd seen the address for on a rental application months back. It was 10 minutes away, near the river, right where the charge for Haven Suites had been from the week before. I told myself, okay, that's probably the hotel. That tracks, at least. Then I told myself, you're not really going to drive over there like some psycho, are you? Apparently, I was. The whole drive there, my brain was doing this frantic two-step. You're overreacting. They're genuinely moving stuff, and you're going to look insane. Then why the lies? Why the dead phone and the weird hotel charges? By the time I pulled into the car park, my stomach felt like it was trying to leave my body. The lobby was quiet. Too bright. There was that anonymous hotel smell, air freshener, and something fried. I walked up to the desk and tried to look like someone who belonged there. "Hi," I said. "My partner's staying here, but her phone's dead and I can't get in touch. I just wanted to leave her something." "She's in a room with Claire, last name. Could you tell me the room number?" I half expected to be told that was against policy. Instead, the receptionist tapped her keyboard, looked at me like I was the world's least interesting problem, and said, "For 13. My heart did that weird stutter thing again. "Thanks," I said. The lift ride up to the 4th floor felt like it took an hour. The carpet was that weird geometric pattern designed to hide stains. There was a small sign telling me where the ice machine was, like that mattered at all. Outside 413, I stopped. I could hear faint talking inside. A laugh that sounded like Mia's. The TV murmuring. I knocked. Silence. Then movement. The chain slid. The door opened a crack, then all the way. And that's where we came in. Me in the doorway, them on the bed. The room instantly feeling way too small for the amount of history suddenly crammed into it. "What are you doing here?" Mia asked again, tone sliding from shock towards irritation like I was the one being weird. "I tried calling," I said. My voice sounded strangely calm. "Your phone's dead, remember?" I got worried. I lifted my own phone a little, like a prop. "Find My says you were here." Funny how it never points to a storage unit. Her jaw clenched. "We moved some stuff, then came back here. It's closer to her new place," she said quickly. "We were just helping me move," Claire put in, like she'd been given her line. She tried to smile. It landed somewhere between polite and terrified. I looked at the bed, at the 2 glasses on the nightstand, both with lipstick smudges, at Mia's shoes kicked off near the desk, socks half removed like she'd been in a hurry, at the open pizza box on the table, 1 slice eaten, the others untouched and cold, at Claire's hair, damp, like she'd showered. "You needed a hotel room for that?" I asked. All the cardboard boxes in the city were booked. Mia's eyes flashed. "Can we not do this in the hallway?" she hissed. "Come inside." "I'm good here," I said. The carpet under my feet felt weirdly uneven. Claire stood up, picking at the hem of her shirt. "I should give you guys some space," she murmured. "No." I snapped, sharper than I meant to. "You stay? You're part of this. I'm not going to pretend you're a potted plant in the corner." She flushed and sat back down. Mia exhaled, long and shaky. "Nothing happened," she said. "We were just talking." She didn't want to be alone. "I'm not blind," I said. "Or stupid." I pointed at the bed. "This doesn't look like just talking. It's literally a hotel room with 1 bed," she said, like I was being unreasonable for noticing. "There's nowhere else to sit." "You have a whole couch," I said, gesturing at the armchair and the little bench under the window. "Try again." Her eyes filled with tears then. Not dramatic sobs, just that shimmer that makes everything feel a little more fragile. "You're blowing this out of proportion," she said. "You've met Claire. You know we're friends. She's going through a divorce. I'm trying to be there for her." "By what?" I asked. "By lying to me about where you are? By getting a hotel near the river instead of sleeping on her couch." Claire finally spoke up, voice quiet. "It's my room," she said. "I booked it. Mia just came to help me today. She was supposed to go home." "Was she?" I asked. I looked at Mia. She didn't answer. I don't remember exactly how I left that room. I remember Mia grabbing my arm, nails biting into my jacket sleeve, saying my name like a plea. I remember pulling away because if she touched me any longer I was either going to collapse or scream. I remember Claire saying, "I'm so sorry," to no one in particular. I remember the hallway spinning a little as I pressed the elevator button. Back at the apartment, everything looked the same but wrong. The mug she uses every morning. The sweater she'd been wearing the night before draped over the back of a chair. Moose curled up on the couch like nothing had happened. I sat down on the living room floor and didn't move for a long time. My brain kept trying to run simulations. Best case, worst case. Explanations that didn't involve cheating. Then my phone buzzed. "Mia, please don't do anything rash. I'm coming home." The rational part of me wanted to wait, to have a calm conversation when my heart rate wasn't doing drum solos. The hurt animal part of me wanted to pack a bag and bolt. I compromised by grabbing the bottle of whiskey we saved for good news and pouring myself a solid 3 fingers. She came in about half an hour later, hair still damp, eyes red. She closed the door quietly, like loud noises might break me. "Can we talk?" she asked. Seems like you've done plenty of talking in private hotel rooms, I said, staring at the TV reflection because looking at her hurt. She winced. I deserve that, she said. But can you please just listen? I laughed once, humorless. I've been listening, I said. All I heard was, you're blowing this out of proportion, and I was just helping her move. She sat down on the opposite end of the couch, hands twisting in her lap. Nothing happened, she said slowly. Not like you're imagining. I turned to look at her then. Define nothing, I said, because I saw a lot of somethings in that room. She hesitated, and that was all I needed. How long has this been going on? I asked. Her eyes flicked to mine, then away. We've been close for a while, she said. Since she and Tom split. It started as venting. Two people who got hurt by the same guy, you know? We understood each other. She's your ex's wife? I said. You bonded over trauma and decided step 2 was a hotel. It wasn't like that at the start, she snapped. We'd go for coffee. Talk about work. Talk about you. About how much I love you. It felt safe. Then, she swallowed. Then it shifted. I don't know when exactly. One night we'd both had too much wine, and she said something about how she wished she'd met me before she met Tom. I laughed it off. Then she kissed me. My chest actually hurt. Like, physically. When was that? I asked. My voice sounded weirdly distant. A couple of months ago, she whispered. After that barbecue at Jess's place. I thought back. Jess's barbecue. The one where Mia came home extra giggly, smelling like smoke and tequila, and kissed me a little too intensely at the door. The night she'd said, we had some deep chats, it was good, when I asked how it was. And you kissed her back, I said. Not a question. She nodded, tears spilling over now. I freaked out afterwards, she said. I told her it was a mistake, that I wasn't going to blow up my life. She said she understood. We didn't talk for a bit. Then she messaged me saying she was moving and she needed help. I thought I could keep it normal. I was stupid. Did you hook up? I asked, forcing the words out. I need you to be honest. No half-truths. No, nothing happened, but... She looked like a cornered animal. We fooled around a couple of times, she said finally. I don't even know what label you want me to put on it. We didn't. I put up a hand. I don't need details, I said. I actually felt my stomach lurch. I just need the truth. And you've just given me enough of it. She leaned forward, elbows on her knees, head in her hands. I hate myself, she said. I don't know how I let it get this far. It wasn't supposed to be anything. I'm not even. I don't know what I am. I love you. I never stopped loving you. This was selfish. I cut in. It was selfish. She nodded miserably. Yeah, she said. That. We spent the next hour in that awful, looping conversation I've only ever seen other people describe. Her. It didn't mean what you think it meant. Me. You lied to my face about where you were. Her. I didn't tell you because I knew you'd react exactly like this. Me. Meaning, accurately. At one point, I said, you kept telling me you were helping her move. You were moving, all right, straight out of our relationship. She flinched like I'd slapped her. I never planned to leave you, she said. I never planned to be with her. It was an escape. For both of us. She's getting divorced. I've been feeling stuck, and we fell into this thing. You didn't think maybe, I don't know, bringing up feeling stuck with your actual partner might be a good first step? I asked. She stared at her hands. I convinced myself it would blow over, she said. That we'd get it out of our systems, and then pretend it never happened. That's not how people work, I said. That's how TV shows work. She looked up at me then, eyes red and swollen. Do you want to break up? She asked, voice barely audible. If you do, I'll go. I won't fight you on it. I know I don't really have the right. The messed up part is, I didn't know. I still don't really. If this were someone else's story, I'd be in the comments typing leave in capital letters. But when it's your life, and the person sitting across from you is the same one who's held your hand in hospital waiting rooms, who's danced with you in the kitchen at midnight, who knows how you like your coffee and what song will pull you out of a bad mood, it's not that clean. I told her I needed space. That night, I booked this Airbnb near my work and packed a duffel bag with enough clothes for a week. Mia stood in the doorway as I zipped it up, eyes shining, hands twisting in the hem of her sweatshirt. I'll do whatever it takes, she said. Therapy, total no contact with Claire, quitting my job if I have to. I know I fucked up. I know sorry doesn't cut it. But I'm asking for a chance. I didn't promise anything. I just said, we'll talk, and left. It's been 4 days. She sent a couple of long, rambling emails. Apology novels. Stuff about how she's booked a psychiatrist appointment because she thinks she might be dealing with attachment issues she never addressed. About how she's going to tell our mutual friends the truth if I want her to, so I don't look like the crazy one. Claire texted me once from an unknown number I blocked after reading. I know I'm the last person you want to hear from, but I am so sorry. I never meant to hurt you. I'll stay away. This is on me as much as it's on her. I didn't reply. I don't have the emotional bandwidth to manage her guilt on top of Mia's and my own. Right now, I'm in this weird limbo where I'm mourning a relationship that technically still exists. Some moments I'm furious, like punch a wall, throw their shit out the window furious. Other moments, I'm just sad. Sad for the version of us that existed before moving boxes and hotel rooms and exes' wives became part of the story. If there's any wisdom in this mess, it's probably this. Cheating isn't always some dramatic, obvious thing. Sometimes it's tiny, innocent steps that keep going because no one hits the brakes. A coffee, a shared joke, a venting session, a kiss, a hotel. By the time the cheating is undeniable, the emotional cheating has been happening for months. Helping can be a cover. Helping someone move. Helping someone through a breakup. Helping someone process. I'm not saying you should side-eye every act of kindness your partner offers someone. But repeated, secretive, emotionally intense help that somehow never includes you? Maybe ask why. You're allowed to not know what you want right away. Reddit loves clean endings. I dumped them and never looked back. Or, we worked through it and are stronger now. I'm not there. I'm somewhere in the messy middle, trying to decide if I can rebuild trust with someone who hid a whole other relationship in hotel rooms and moving boxes. She says she thought she was helping Claire move. The reality is, she was moving a piece of herself out of what we had and into something secret, messy, and selfish. Finding her in that hotel wasn't a surprise twist, if I'm honest. It was just the moment the story I'd been telling myself finally ran out of excuses.